Cooking Up a Storm, sponsored by West Virginia Northern Community College Culinary Arts Program and Ohio Stoneware.
I'm Jeff Oechslein, and we're cooking up a storm. If you have a Blackstone, you've probably heard about Smashburgers. If you've never heard about Smashburgers, I'll show you how to make them. We're going to smash burgers. I'm not sure where they give you something that weighs about 15 pounds of smashed ground beef, but there we go. This is what we're going to use to smash our burgers. Now, it's kind of weird smashing burgers. Before we get to the burger part, this is basically my favorite type of burger right here. I'm going to start with bacon. We're going to use the bacon, but we're also going to use the bacon grease because the bacon grease is going to help us cook the burger in the bacon grease. So you're going to actually cook your burger in all that bacon goodness. But what I was saying about what's kind of odd about Smashburgers, you've always been taught, like, when you have a burger on the grill, don't touch it, don't smush it down, all the juice is going to come out. But a smash burger is just that. You basically smash it down. But these have become very popular. So we got our bacon on the griddle. Then we have some onions that I just sliced up real thin. If you want to be real fancy, you can, you know what, before I do, I'm going to put a little bit of oil on here for these onions to cook in. If you want to be real fancy, you can slice these really thin, but, you know, I tried to get as thin as possible. I love bacon, I like onions with my burgers, and I like a little mushroom as well. I'll add the mushrooms a little later, but first we want to cook the bacon and the onions right here. Now, my favorite burger place to go to, and it's one of the places, it's actually, I ended up taking my wife on our first date to this place. It's called Tesaro's in Pittsburgh, and I think they have the best burger really that I've ever had. They ground their own beef daily. It's such a great burger, but what they put on the burger is sort of what I like here. I like the onions. They have bacon they put on, pickles, put some lettuce, tomato, and I like a little bit of mayonnaise and ketchup. But that's sort of my inspiration for this type of burger. Now, technically theirs is not a smash burger. Theirs is like a big old hunk of probably half a pound of beef that you bite into. But these smash burgers are going to be the thin patties. So we're just going to let this sort of cook away for a little bit. Check the bacon, make sure it's cooking, turn it over. One of the things, if you have a Blackstone, if you're new to cooking on a Blackstone, I think one of the biggest mistakes that a lot of people make, including myself when I first started, you have the tendency to crank this thing up on really high heat. I have this pretty much on a low heat. It's been pre-warming for a while. If you cook everything on high heat, though, it gets really, really hot. So you want to put it on a lower heat and let it cook, because otherwise you're going to burn your bacon and everything else. So go lower heat versus a high heat. If you have a high heat, it's going to get really, really hot. So we're just going to let this, the onions cook away a little bit with our bacon, and then I'll show you how to make smash burgers.
I was the first in my family to go to college.
I was looking to switch careers.
I wanted the highest quality, but most affordable option for a degree.
No matter where you are in life, West Virginia Northern Community College can make your dream of a college degree a reality. With over half of our students being first-generation college students and free tuition for many programs, Northern is the right choice for you.
I can go to college. West Virginia Northern Community College. You belong here.
Okay, I think I just saw Galway. Anytime I have bacon on the Blackstone, she is nearby. Galway is, of course, our dog. Okay, a little bit of butter. If you have a Blackstone you're cooking, I like this butter with canola oil. It's just, you can get it out with a spoon. You don't have to play with a knife and a stick. It's real nice and soft, especially if you have it sitting outside for a little bit. And then I'm going to add to it my shrooms. I love shrooms on a burger. I don't know why. Some people may not like the fun guy, but I consider myself a fun guy, so I like mushrooms on burgers. So mushrooms and onions, to me, are a staple on a hamburger. So we're gonna let that saute a little bit right there. And and get in with the butter and the oil. Our bacon's pretty much done, nice and crispy. I have a paper towel that I have here that I like to line because that paper towel will help absorb some of that grease. Don't worry, we're going to cook the burgers in the remaining grease that you see on the Blackstone. So look at all that bacon grease that's just sitting there. And again, we're going to use the bacon to put on top of our Smashburgers. So we got the bacon grease, we're ready to go. We need to talk about burgers. Ground chuck, I like 80-20. 20% fat. Why a little bit more fat versus like your lean ground beef? That's going to give it that flavor, okay? That's what you want for a good burger. What I did to make these guys, I have a half a cup. And I just put ground beef. I didn't really pack it in there real hard. I just made like a ball, like you're going to make like a little meatball. And these are about a half a cup in size. So what I'm going to do then is just plop these guys right on to the Blackstone griddle. And you want to space these out because remember, we're smashing these. So they're going to go on as balls. I know you're saying, wait a second, I thought you were making hamburgers. This looks like a meatball here, Jeff. But these are going to look like burgers. May have to move these around a little bit here, organize things. Because these are going to get big when you smash them. You don't want your smash burgers overlapping. So I haven't seasoned this yet with anything, but I will here in a second. So you're going to let that cook for a little bit. Let me get these, stir these onions and shrooms, which are just, oh, that's looking delicious. I love a little mushroom and onion on my burger. And if, you know, a great thing about this is, let's say you think this is pretty much done, which it is, you can turn off your heat and it's still going to keep it warm because you have, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 burners. There's still going to be heat here and it's still keeping your mushrooms and onions warm, but you're not burning them by turning off the heat. So we have our smash burgers here ready to go. Then what we're going to do is smash them. And an easy way to do this is, of course, I have my smashing device. And if you don't have that, like this big device that you can get, you could just use, you know, the back of your spatula. But I have wax paper. Why do I have wax paper? Because the wax paper will prevent it from sticking. If I just do this, it may stick on here. So I'm going to use wax paper. And that is going to help it from sticking as I smash my burger. So all I'm going to do is just come in here. Listen to that sizzle. Smash away, okay? Hold it. Count to 10 if you want. Count to about 10, and there you go. See how nice and thin that patty is? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can count to 10. Tell you what, I can count backwards. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year. Okay, I'm all out of counting jokes. There we go, some sizzling. This gets hot, really hot, even the wax paper, so be careful while you're doing this as well. We're gonna season these burgers. I know you're probably saying, Jeff, you didn't season it with anything. What are you gonna put on here? You could put all kind of different types of burger rub. We're gonna get our last little ball. Here we go. I love that sizzle sound. You can count to 10 or wait until you can't bear any longer when it comes to the heat from the griddle. So I'm going to take this guy and deposit him in the trash. There we go. Okay, so now we'll begin to season. You can use all kind of different, you know, fancy burger seasonings that are out there. To me, keep it simple. A little pepper, a little salt, and a little garlic powder, just to give it a little bit of garlic taste. Nothing crazy. I mean, again, you can use, they have all kind of different burger seasonings that you can buy at the store. Feel free to experiment and go, but you know, salt, pepper, a little bit of garlic powder, you're not gonna go wrong right there. So these are cooking for a couple minutes and you wanna look, it's almost like, you look at these, it's almost like if you've ever cooked pancakes, you wanna look around the edges. You know how like the pancakes begin to like bubble up in the middle and everything? That's when you sort of get an idea when these guys are ready to flip. And when you do flip them, you want to get underneath with your spatula, almost like at a 45-degree angle, because all the goodness with the smash burger is that is going to be that like char that's on there with the griddle. So you don't want to leave that on your griddle. You want that on your burger. So that's an important part. So it looks like they're about to be flipped. I think this one we did first. So see how I want to get under it like this and scrape it, and then do it a little flip. There we go. Perfect. So see how we get some of that black there? That's some of the good tasty morsels. Again, this is cooking in bacon grease, so I mean you can't go wrong right there. So gonna scrape it a little bit, make sure you don't have any of that on the griddle, and then flip. I have to admit, I'm not the best flipper in the world, but it's all in the wrist. Galway can smell the food. There we go. Okay, so we have our burgers. Now we want to season the other side, of course, because we did one side, you got to do the other side. Salt, pepper on the other side. Nothing crazy, just a little bit. Okay, and then you could put, I mean, cheese. Some people don't like cheese. I like cheese. You can put any kind of cheese. If I'm making a smash burger, I'm making a good old American burger, it's got to have American cheese, right? I mean, sure, you could use any kind of cheese you want, but you got to, to me, you got to go American, right? American cheese is the best. So yeah, I mean, you could put provolone, you could put Swiss, especially with a mushroom. Swiss goes real well, but I don't know. To me, there's nothing, it's like un-American almost if you don't put American cheese on your cheeseburgers, smash burgers. So these are pretty much, all we want to do now is just basically melt this a little bit. If I wanted to, I could get out my dome. I have like a little dome in there that I can, like a lid basically, and I would put that on top. And what you could do is spray a little bit of water in there and you put it on top, and that steam will help sort of melt the cheese evenly. But you leave it on there enough, it is going to melt on its own. And then what I would want to do when these are done, and they're going to be done pretty much in a second, is I want to show you how you plate the burger. And again, this is the way I would like my burger. You could use 2 patties if you want because they are pressed thin. I'll just do 1. But I like tomato, fresh tomato, especially you get it out of the garden, right? A homegrown tomato in the summertime. Doesn't get any better than that. I like some, dill pickles, and that's about it. So I could already start here, put the tomatoes on, and put my pickles on. By the way, this plate is from Ohio Stoneware. Going to show off the plate right here. They're in Zanesville, one of our sponsors. Check it out. And they will hand paint anything you want. They can customize plates just like this one. Maybe you want one for an upcoming holiday. You can get those hand painted if you want. So I'm going to take one of these burgers and plop it right on. Again, you could maybe use 2. Then I'm going to come over here and get my my mushrooms and onions, because I can't forget about those, right? I sort of missed part of the burger there, but you get the idea. And then of course, bacon. You got to put a piece of bacon. And then I like to put two things on. That would be ketchup, a little ketchup, and a little bit of mayo. I like a little bit of mayo on my burger. You can use burger sauce, I guess, too, but to me, nothing's better than a little bit of ketchup and mayo. Some people like mustard, whatever you like. Maybe you don't like anything at all. Now, look at that. I mean, that, my friends, is a burger. In fact, it is so large, I'm going to try to close this and take a bite for you. It is... That's my favorite burger. I think we smashed it. Smashburgers on the Blackstone. Until next time, we're cooking up a storm.
Cooking Up a Storm, sponsored by West Virginia Northern Community College Culinary Arts Program and Ohio Stoneware.